That's the most important is hope, and is somebody to keep waiting and praying, because you don't have to be a religion person just to wait for a miracle. Miracles are a very simple thing. It just miracle happen when something in the middle of the time stop right there. And when that stop happen, tell me that it's religion, tell me it's God, tell me whatever you want. Everything happened for a reason.
Welcome to Living Transplant,
the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the transplant program at Toronto General Hospital
and brings you open and honest conversations about the transplant experience.
My name is Courtney, and I'm the communications specialist for the Center for Living Organ Donation.
And my name is Brittany. I'm a bedside nurse in the Ajmera Transplant Center.
Full disclosure, we are not physicians.
No, and we are not here to give you medical advice.
Think of us like your guides through the world of transplant as we know it.
Whether transplant is your past, present, or future, your passion, or your curiosity,
Living Transplant will show you the world of transplant like you've never seen it before.
Welcome back to Living Transplant. Our interview today is with Sonia and Jamie. So Sonia had donated a part of her liver to her father, Jamie.
Yeah, I think back in 2018, we'll get to the details in the interview. But what I found really striking about this story is just how close their whole family is. Like, Sonia is the youngest of three brothers. All four kids applied to be Jamie's donor. And, you know, obviously the youngest and the only girl is the one who's the only viable candidate. So that part is really interesting. And then also just thinking about what Sonia's mother went through, like having a husband and a child going through major surgery, taking care of both of them post-recovery, like working full-time. It's just wild.
I know. I don't even understand how some women do it. What being able to watch their loved one go through things change mentally, physically, and emotionally must be so draining. But the strength of a woman always perseveres every single time. Yes. But being able to watch yourself go through that must be really tough, because Jamie talked about how emotional it was for him to go through those changes, and his family to even watch it must have been so difficult. And having those emotional changes and physical changes happen, being told that you have literal months left to live without a transplant can be daunting. But through this liver transplant, thank God for Sonia, she was able to donate to her dad.
Yeah, for sure. Like how rapid things change for their family is one of the parts that also really amazes me. And that's what I find so scary about liver disease. But despite all that, they talk about everything with such humor. Like they are so funny. I think so much of this interview is just editing is just like unintelligible, like laughing and people trying to talk over each other. So they're a great bunch. And even like an encephalopathy it's obviously not funny at all, but the way that they talk about some of his encephalopathic moments are like you can't help but laugh a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely bring light to the situation and the struggles that they went through. So let's get to the interview with Sonia and Jamie.
Our guests today are Jamie and Sonia Munoz. Thank you both for joining us today.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
So what is your connections to transplant?
I personally, to be honest, I didn't know the liver regenerated until I had to go into this situation, because there's no advertisement. I don't know if I missed that day in school when they taught us this, but I don't remember learning about this. I don't remember having any type of course, type of any information or media or advertising. Nothing. I didn't have any idea until I was put in the situation of my dad.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that, by the way, about the liver regenerating.
Some people were so you lost your liver? What happens?
Yeah, that's another part that it's really hard to explain. That is only a portion of the liver that is being used, and the part that is being taken away is grown. Not 100%, but it's close to 100%.
Yeah, it's fully functioning.
Right?
Yeah, both
and
are
it
fully
works
functioning.
as long we take the medication, because no matter what is comparable, no matter what is my daughter, genetic is okay, everything is okay, but always the body say, no, this is not mine, get out of here. So that's part of the treatment too, right?
When did you find out that your liver was failing?
That was back to August 2017.
Yeah.
That it was feeling not really in a good condition. I was getting tired and I was just sleeping. In general, I wasn't feeling well, right? But it was okay, no big deal, I guess, the age, whatever. But September, it was getting worse. I started retaining water. So my body started getting a little bit bigger and all this stuff. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you know what, we're going to do an ultrasound, and we're going to do this and this and this. So finally, when I got the ultrasound, they told me I got cirrhosis. So it was a surprise, because how am I going to get cirrhosis? Because cirrhosis is always combined with alcohol and drinking and other problems, right?
Yeah.
And I was stopping drinking 6 years previous to that. So it was not related to that, right? So finally, it sent me to a specialist, gastroenterology.
Gastroenterology or
gastroenterology,
hepatology.
So he said, yeah, you have this one and you have 3 months to live.
Yeah.
Man, I
Right
hope he
there.
didn't say it like that.
Just like
It
that,
was
eh?
amazing
Yeah. Oh,
person.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing doctor. It was just one of those doctors that I love it to deal with.
Yeah. So cutthroat. Just right to
Yeah.
the point,
Yes,
eh?
right
Yeah.
there. I say the only way you can survive is having a transplant. So we start the process, the paperwork, sending back this one, more tests, coming back, coming forward. But at the same time, my ability to walk started getting really bad. I was not able to walk properly. I need help. And then by, I think it was October, I was not able to move myself.
Oh, you lost like
And I started losing weight.
lots
like
of
a
weight.
lot of weight.
Was the ability not to walk because of the fluid or because of the fatigue?
It was the fluid. It was too big. My legs, they were so big.
Yeah.
My arm, my belly
Belly.
was getting
His,
really
but like
big.
it was crazy because like his belly would get so big, but he was losing so much
much
weight, and he was just like, it got to a point
Yeah.
where he was so skinny,
Yeah.
and it was like unrecognized. Like James, like my
My
nephew, his grandson, didn't recognize him because he just wasn't the guy that he grew
Yeah.
up knowing.
Yeah.
And it's even for me. Like I've known him for 26 years, and he's always been he's a tall guy. He's always kind of been a little bit more not bigger by any means, but like a little, he had he wasn't skinny, but
Well, at that time, I was 250.
and he was drinking, and he was drinking a lot at that time, and like alcohol is a big calorie consumer.
Yeah.
So when he stopped drinking, he lost weight, but he was at an average size, and then after this, he just got so skinny, and it was like crazy to see him like that.
For the family, it was really hard to see me because it was not the same person. Even my grandkid, it was like not really getting close to me. It was like, I don't know you. It was 3 years at that time.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't recognize you. So I was hitting
And they were
me
best friends.
really, yeah.
They were
that's so
they
sad.
With my
best
body, right?
best friends.
So it was really hard.
so
So
sad.
also because of the toxin that I was retaining in the fluid, was getting to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain started not working properly, like totally doing stupidities and horrible stuff. Like my brain, it was in somewhere else.
Can I tell the Uber story?
Yeah, sure.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
okay.
I don't remember those, right? 'Cause that was
No, I know. That's fine. I'm not holding you accountable for this. It's fine. Okay. So it got to that point where he was like, he wasn't thinking straight. It was all the medication, all the drugs, everything. He really wanted to go out, and we're like, you're not allowed to drive. Like, you can't be going out. Just stay home. Like, we'll get whatever you need. Like, it's fine. So he orders an Uber, and the Uber driver is waiting outside. And my dad is in like the mental state of like, I'm going, like I have all my clothes on. No, you can't keep me. And I'm like, Dad, like, where are you going? Like, I'll drive you. Like, where are you going? And he wouldn't listen to any of us. And this is at the point where he's sick and like he needs a cane to walk. Like he shouldn't be going out. Like this is just not good. So I'm trying to stop him. My sister-in-law, Jasmine, is trying to stop him. And she's a very small, petite little Taiwanese girl. Like just super sweet, like would never yell at anyone. And like my dad she's trying to hold my dad back, this tiny girl, trying to hold my dad. And my dad's like, no. And like they start yelling at each other. And I call my brother. He needs to come here. He leaves the shop. My brother's a bigger set guy, so he's holding my dad back. And he pays the Uber guy. He's like, I'm sorry. My dad is not like taking any Ubers today. Like this isn't happening. He's not mentally here. He pays the guy leaves. And then we basically had to cancel. Oh my God, the pens. My dad had this thing about pens. So the Uber driver got canceled. We kind of like try to cancel his Uber account, try to get rid of his credit cards. He was spending every single day. There'd be a package from Amazon at the doorstep every single day. And you know what he was buying? Single pens. Just one. But he was buying boxes and boxes.
What kind of pens?
Because he just like ballpoint
pens.
any pens. Because he wanted to give them as gifts to people as thank you for helping us out kind of thing. Like he's like, I gotta get a pen for the Chita, Tonito, I gotta get a pen for here. And we're like, Dad, no one even uses pens anymore. Everyone has phones.
It was. I think it was part of the knowing that I was only have 3 months. At that point, it was 2 months that I'm gonna die. So I guess in part of my brain, it was telling me, buy something so people can remember you, something like that, right? So I tried to put together all this stuff now, but at that time it was really hard to see it. So what I understand now is that was part of saying goodbye to everyone, right?
Right.
Because I wasn't able to see the people at that point, and I don't want them to see me too, because it was really hard for them. I have a couple of friends, they saw me and they were crying, and every time they cry, I feel bad for them, not for me. But they were really hard because they were telling me, but you're not the same. You're not the person that we know. You're not Jamie, you're not this and this and this. And so for me, it was hard because it was a big process.
So they say that you have 3 months to live and they just send you home?
I was home at one point, but one of the days that we came here, all my other 3 sons and Sonia to be tested,
And Daniela.
and Daniela, another friend of Sonia, to be tested who's going to be the best choice. The doctor saw me and she said, no, you can't now go back to your house. You're dying right now.
You're admitted that same day.
It was intensive care for 3 days because my toxins, they were too elevated. Like she saw me, I don't know how, I got a plastic bag and I was sitting waiting outside. And somehow she saw me walking and I put up my bag in the head.
Oh boy.
And she just immediately just react like a doctor, right? Say something wrong with this person. What's wrong with him? She said something wrong with your toxins. So we couldn't do the test for them.
Yeah. So
We have to stop?
it was my oldest brother Jamie, then goes Ricardo, then Victor, then myself, and then one of my best friends also had opted to do this for my dad. So sorry.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
It's just something that's really close that she would do something like that for my dad. So we all went. And my dad was waiting in the doctor's office, and we were all waiting to kind of go through all the channels of everything. And then, we didn't get to progress with anything else because he was just too sick, and they immediately admitted him in, and then we were going to do a different day. But they managed to do it without us all coming back. And the results of, Jamie was going through his own thing. He was having, what was it,
Heart condition.
Heart condition, yeah.
He was admitted to the hospital with some kind of I don't know, it was tachycardia or something like that. But they say you're not fixed to do any.
Yeah,
transplant
you're
right
not.
now.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
You're out.
You're out.
You're in a good condition right now, right?
Right.
So and then the second one is Ricardo. They told us after the test, they said, no, you have a fat liver, you cannot do this one. And the third one, Victor, they told, no, you're too fat.
Yeah, you have to lose too much. Well, they didn't say that. You're so mean.
Doctors say in order to be a subject to do a transplant, you have to lose.
You have to lose
40
pounds in a month.
In a
It was
month.
something so ridiculous. It was okay, we can't go with you. So then there was me.
She was the last one, but it was kind of like a fight between them. Jamie, 'cause
Yeah,
the oldest
Jamie.
one, he wants to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's my responsibility.
Yeah.
In the Latino
sure.
culture, I don't know all the culture, but we have a tradition that the oldest one is always taking care when the parents are not there.
Right.
So they're always going to be, okay, I'm responsible, I'm in charge of you guys. No matter what, you're married already, but I'm responsible still, right?
Yeah.
So he was feeling that responsibility, so he wants to do it. But I guess it was so much stress on him that he...
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure on you too, though, Sonia.
It was a lot. Throughout the whole thing, once they had chosen, it was after my birthday weekend. I know that because they were like, no more alcohol. And I was like, great, fantastic. I just celebrated my birthday. I'm cool with that. No fried foods. Try not to injure yourself too much. That whole thing. It was a lot, but at the whole time and the whole process of it, they were always so supportive and you don't have to do this. You don't have to go through with this. No one's putting a gun to you saying you need to do this. This is your choice. If you're not comfortable with it, that's okay. No one's going to judge you for it. No one's going to think badly of it. Nothing like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. But it's kind of it's a choice of do I want to see my dad or not? And that's such an easy question.
At the end of the day, it's a simple answer. You're
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It's pressure, it's stress, but at the same time, it's an obvious route I'm gonna go. There's no.
Also, you have to continue your life too, right?
Yeah.
You have to-
And moving forward after that, it was so sped up because what does a usual transplant timeline look like?
I think for liver, it's probably 3 to 6 months.
Right.
And
we
yours
had
was
to
like
do it
what,
a month. Like everything got fast tracked, and it was like throughout the whole process, it was just cirrhosis of the liver. Like we really didn't have a diagnosis
They were
of
called
anything.
NASH, non-alcoholic
Non-alcohols,
cirrhosis. But after all this stuff, they discovered when they took all liver that I had cancer, got a tumor. But no matter what MRI scan and all this stuff, they didn't see it.
Nothing.
So they figured that out when they were in the transplant?
Yeah, once they had the liver, once they had my dad's liver, and they did a biopsy of it, then they
cancer.
discovered it
Post.
was we had no clue. We had
Wow.
no idea what was
But
going on.
then there was another worry. After the surgery, after the transplant, there was so many more tests, a lot of more tests. I learned later that part of the problem, it was caused by my lung, believe it or not. Back to what the school teaches when you miss that class. They not explain us in schools that every single organ is connected.
Yes.
What we learn in school is this is
The heart,
this is the
lungs.
this is the stomach, this is the pancreas, this is blah, blah, blah. But they don't explain that how do they connect? How do they work together? I had a bacteria in my lung that it was living there for many, many years. It was caused by smoke. I was smoking like 33 years ago. And that bacteria was there, but it was active, but it was not ready to work. Somehow, something happened in my body that was activated and went through my lung to the liver. And it was creating the cancer that they discovered later.
So crazy,
And I
right?
learned
Who
this-
figured that out? So you got the biopsy, and they said that's hepatic cancer.
Yeah.
And then
With the lung specialist because I had some fluid in my lung. And they said it was after the surgery. So they sent me back after a year. And when the doctor started doing all the tests, he discovered that. And he went back to the doctors here. And they told him, you know what, this NASH that you call at the beginning, it was caused by the lung. Because he had a bacteria in the lung, and the lung went. He explained to them. They didn't know that too. It was like unbelievable the way it was working. It was just one thing that it caused by smoking.
Wow. That's
Okay.
And that was when you were smoking. You hadn't smoked in like 30 years.
35
right?
years ago, I quit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So that was creating the problem. So now they discovered that my chromosome 14 had a deficient. Chromosome 14 is in charge of producing protein in the body. So that chromosome 14 is not producing that protein. That's how that bacteria in my lung. It's a long process. It's an interesting.
Yeah.
Science is crazy.
Yeah.
It is-
honestly.
So now my kids, they have to test.
Yeah. To make sure we
Because
don't have it, or if we do have it.
They have it, right?
Yeah.
But they have to see how it can be active again. And that's what they told them, don't smoke, because smoking is the worst thing for that.
they had to test for that if they had that chromosome and how it would become activated.
Yeah.
Was this a geneticist that you had to
it's a
see?
genetic,
Yeah.
So my dad and my mom had it. But back to those days, I knew my dad was died because of cancer. But my mother, because there was no autopsy, they didn't know.
This is in El
insufficient-
Salvador, also.
But now they tell me, no. In order to you to have that one, your mom and your father have cancer too. Period.
Wow. It's crazy how they can trace things.
Back.
That is-
Without any autopsy, I knew that my mom died of cancer, not because of
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. So this is all stuff you find out way post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now.
Oh,
This
like
is- This is like
recently.
recent.
Yeah. So it's almost like, in a way, your transplant experience and your liver cancer has somehow helped all the people within your family figure out.
Oh, yeah.
And most of people too, because I tell the people what happened to me, and they say, "Oh my God, I have somebody that has the same situation or similar situation." So they're like a kind of like awareness, and sometimes we think smoking is not big deal, but it is if you have that deficient, but we don't know.
You wouldn't know.
30 years ago, how are you gonna know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to like chronologically where we were
Right,
in
yeah.
your story.
Yeah.
So you are streamlined for testing.
Yes. So we are now in doing everything that you would do 3 to 6 months in like a month. For the next 7 weeks, 8 weeks,
less.
maybe. I was coming in and out of the hospital doing testing all the time, getting blood work done all the time. My dad you were here the
Yeah,
whole
I
time,
was here the
right?
whole time.
So he was like, after the day he was admitted, like he wasn't going home. He was
never-
there.
Yeah. Right.
And so now my mom is taking care of this man, taking care of the household, taking care of my brothers and myself, working her job on the board of directors for Children's Aid Society,
Okay.
volunteering at the church,
Moms, right?
Wow.
Moms.
superwoman all of this,
mom.
right?
Yeah.
And like staying here with my dad some nights and
Wow.
sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my God.
it was crazy. So we're all figuring stuff out at the house. I'm still going to work. House was under construction.
no.
Like there was so much that was going on. Victor and Alana were found out they were pregnant, but like couldn't tell him because we didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
The entire time that I'm doing all this testing, my dad has no idea it's me that was chosen. My dad knew that I was going in for tests, but like no one ever said like, yeah, like Sonia's the one, like we're going with her. And some stuff we didn't tell you.
A lot of stuff.
A lot, like,
Was it because of his confusion? Was
Yeah.
it
Yeah, because I was under a lot of drugs, right?
Yeah,
And
and-
because of the drugs. And I told the doctors, right, at the beginning, when I told them, you know what, have an addiction. And when you're addicted, you're going to be an addict forever because it's in your brain. It's not in your body, it's in your brain. So having any kind of drugs in your body, your brain is going to react exactly the same that what you were drinking, what you were using, when you were doing whatever you were doing before.
Yeah.
So it was reacting exactly the same. If you go to the 7th floor and you ask for Sonia Munoz, nobody's going to laugh.
Here and then also at like Oshawa General when he was in ICU there. For sure.
Oh, believe me.
For sure.
Jamie just walks on the floor and they're like,
Yeah.
One day,
Like,
I disappeared and I came here because they were. I cannot eat any salty food. I
Oh
cannot eat
yeah,
any
he was on a
sweets.
super restricted like
Get out of
fluid.
there,
Oh man,
went
you and
down.
crushed ice. Oh man.
And everybody was.
it's because
with him
their
at the
mouth
hospital.
is really dry.
Yeah.
Super, super dry.
But he was on such a restricted limit for the amount of liquids. Like
Yeah.
it was
I
something
can only
like
drink
ridiculous.
one
Like
bottle.
one-
One
One
bottle.
500 mils,
500
less than
yeah,
500 mils.
yeah, and my dad is insane, and he wasn't mentally there, and it's just like he's like, no, just sneak. He's like, Jonah, sneak me some ice.
I was
Like, get me some
I was
ice.
braving
Just
the people that were helping at night.
Yeah.
The people that are not nurse, I guess somebody hired them.
Yeah.
Just to keep an eye on people.
Oh, a
I was
sitter.
bribing them. I'm gonna give you $20. So they took.
Yeah, he was bribing people. He was totally bribing people.
So you can buy whatever you want,
Just get me some ice, man. Get me some ice.
or even ice.
I would
ice
love
was,
that. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
ice was part of the whole deal too.
Yeah.
I got offered a car one time.
Ooh,
And
that's
you
hard
got it,
to
right?
turn down.
Right.
And you got the car too.
I didn't get no car. I didn't get a car. I want to make that clear. I never got a car. That's still pending.
But it was part of the drugs, right? So it was
Yeah.
maybe I can have a conversation with you for 5 minutes, and then after that I cannot
Yeah.
even remember. I don't even remember people. They told me, you know, I went to see you.
I don't remember. No recollection.
Thank you
Just
very
no
much, but
recollection.
I have no idea you were
Yeah.
there.
Did they mention anything about encephalopathy?
Yeah.
You're encephalopathic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was.
So when you're encephalopathic, toxins in your liver, which one of the toxins that your liver detoxifies is ammonia, and ammonia builds up in your bloodstream, which then causes you to be very confused. It's a term called hepatic encephalopathy. So then they give you this fun drug called lactulose, which is a laxative. And depending on how bad the liver has failed, you may be taking it every 2 hours so that you're pooping out the ammonia, that you can
makes sense.
stay a little bit more awake and for safety reasons.
On
And
top of that, they have to drain me. They had to put
just
up
paracentesis.
the paracentesis, right? They were like 4 or 5 paracentesis, and they were painful. One of them, it was, I guess they were new doctors, I don't know, but they went through that. They couldn't make it properly, and they pinched I think it was an artery.
An artery. Oh, yeah.
And they discovered, but they didn't realize that it was bad until 4 hours. I was bleeding out of my bed, and my wife saw that.
Yeah.
That it was a lot of blood on the floor.
It got scary. Like this is when you were in Oshawa. This was early stages. This was before TGH really became your home. It was
And it happened here.
what?
The same problem.
The same problem
Yeah.
again?
Because the liver is also responsible for clotting. If you have liver failure, you're not able to clot as easily, so they just bleed.
Yeah.
So they
It's
have
very
to be
difficult.
very careful every
Yeah.
time. They have to do the scan. They have to do a lot
Yeah.
of stuff so they can see where they're going. Some doctors there have so many experience, they just go like magic, right? But some can't do it. They have to use the proper equipment,
ultrasound.
right? The ultrasound. So that was part of the big problem at the beginning.
Those days he wasn't even like coherent. Like my brothers and I would go and see him. My mom would be there. That's when my mom would sleep there too. I slept there one night, and like he wouldn't really be awake. He wouldn't really talk, and it was so hard because like you never saw this. You know, Victor was crying in the waiting room. Like everyone was getting super emotional because like we didn't know what was going on, and you went from such good health to like you're dying.
Yeah.
So your surgery date was scheduled, do I have this right before Christmas?
It was the 21st. That was the original
21st,
surgery
yeah.
date. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was the 21st. So throughout the testing, throughout everything seemed to be fine. Ultrasounds, breathing tests, CT scans, MRIs, blood tests, just coming to Toronto all the time. Sorry, I
Yeah.
said Toronto really weird. Coming to Toronto all the time. I swear I'm from here. Coming from Toronto all the time. From Whitby. So we're driving. My mom is driving all the time. We get into the surgery. We get the call. We give us the date. Get there. My mom and I stay at an Airbnb.
What happened is that day they canceled the surgery because somebody died, somebody passed away, and they can use.
They were an organ donor.
It was like 4 or 5 different organs.
Yeah, like the rooms were occupied for obvious reasons. But
It was really hard for her. For me, it was like.
he just found out that
morning.
morning of like
Yeah.
for me I was just like, oh, like what? I was angry. I was upset. I didn't, but like
course.
at the same time I was like, I get it. You're saving so many lives with this one person, and I understand it. But I was like just heartbroken. I was like,
Yeah.
we were so close. We were like right there.
Yeah.
And it was around Christmas.
And it was around
right?
Christmas.
So-
So we
They
got.
allowed me to get out
Yeah,
of
we
the
snuck him out.
hospital.
I mean, we didn't sneak him out. We asked the doctors. We're like, listen, if the surgery's not gonna happen, can he come home and spend Christmas like his grandkids and like all of us? So they said, yeah, it was okay. We got him out for a little bit, and then on the 26th, they called and said that we had confirmed a date for the 28th. And when they told me that it was canceled on the 21st, they said because it's the Christmas season, a lot of doctors are out, and like it's not the full staff, and it might not be till January that you'll see another date. And so they called me on the 26th, and I'm like, yeah, so we picked a date. We got the 28th. In my head, they told me not till January, so I'm like, oh man, like another month. They're like, no, like the 2 days, like in 2 days it's happening. And I'm like, all right, but like on the phone I was like, listen, like this better happen. Like
Yeah.
we're having rooms, like you're putting our names down.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going through this again. I'm not putting my dad through this again. Like no, because it did upset him.
At one point, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just tired to the unknown because I was not aware. And no matter what, if they tell me what's going on, I wasn't even aware because I was so much drugs in my body. But it was
So then we got the date.
Finally the
yeah,
day.
the 28th. Get there for 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was there first because then you were still in your room because you didn't go until surgery a little bit later. My surgery was there for 8 a.m. I waited in the waiting room with my mom, and then you go in and you see the doctors, the nurses, the anesthesiologists, you see your coordinators. Everyone came by, and then my mom was with me. They set me up, and then they like roll you away, and like you have nothing with you, and you say goodbye.
My
and
phone.
right? I'm like everything. I had like goodbye. They roll you in, they put you in a bed, and then they transfer you to another, like I guess like the surgery table.
Was
I
that
guess.
scary being rolled away?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like my mom. I was leaving my mom. And like the doors, like it's those double doors, and you know
Oh
every
my
movie
God,
that you
yeah.
see when someone goes through the double doors, it's like man. So I was in the room. That's literally what happened. So I was in the room, and like they're like, okay, like we're gonna get you to scoot over to this bed, and so like you scoot over to the other, like the surgery thing, and you see all the doctors. They all kind of like say your names. I don't remember everyone's name. I don't remember anyone's name.
Well, yeah.
But they all introduce themselves to kind of make it a little less scary, I guess.
Did it work?
Well, you know what? You know what happened though is that the guy, I forget his name, but he was asking me, oh, like what do you do for a living, like this and that, and I was like, oh, like I bartend here and that. He's like, all right, like I'm gonna mix you a cocktail and you're not gonna feel a thing. And then he put the mask on me, and then I was gone. So then he went in at 11, and then my mom has like my dad in, and then like me in, and like this poor woman. I know.
So for me, it was just similar. I just went there and see a lot of people around, but I was under a lot of drugs. So
Was this your first surgery as well?
yes,
Like me, yeah.
like that big. Yes, I have some other stuff, but it was not like that. It was not really,
A major, yeah.
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 And I just remember some guy telling me, I count to 10. I just remember count to 2.
Bye.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like it was like that. And then I start hearing noises, but maybe for a minute, I hear noises, but that's it.
And that was
And then
was
what
it
do you
like?
remember next? Yeah.
I remember waking up in ICU, and because they tell you that you might wake up before you get to the actual room. You might wake up when there's still people around, whatever, or you might wake up in the room. I woke up in the room, and like your body's just destroyed.
It's hard
You're
on the
you're
donors.
just like you can't do anything. Everything hurts. You don't want to eat. You don't want to drink. You don't want nothing. You're just like roll up in a ball and just
lay here.
yeah. I woke up to my brother and his girlfriend and my mom, and like they were there, like, you did it. We got this, and we just went and saw dad, and dad looked so good. Like It was crazy. Like, cause you started seeing results in like 72 hours. Like the yellow in your eyes started to diminish. The yellow in your skin started to get better. And you were looking better. And like, I remember my brothers saying, we'd go and see dad and dad's doing so much better. And then we'd go and see you and you're just destroyed. And it's just like, it's funny to see the difference. It was hard the first like 2 days. I feel like I didn't eat. I didn't really do anything. I just lied there kind of thing. And then by the third day, I was like, okay, I gotta like get up and like have an appetite going. And I was having booster juices all the time, I think, because that was just the easiest thing to eat. But it was weird having to look down and see like the stitches and all the taping and everything that was there, and just mobility in general. Like once you've lost your core, your back is now working double time to make up for your core. So now your back really hurts and like your core really hurts, and you're just, I needed to clean my hair. Like I couldn't shower. Like you weren't allowed to do any of that stuff.
How was that first shower?
It was hard. It was, you know what it was though, is that we had a chair, because like my dad by that time, like we had set up, my brother redid their whole bathroom and made it accessible, like put bars on the showers, around the toilets, had the chairs, had everything. They took the whole bath out, they put in a standing shower, like they made it completely accessible. And so like having a shower in there, and like it was hard. It's hard. I needed help. Like I needed my friend who happens to be a nurse and is so gracious and sweet. Ashley came and helped me with my hair and helped braided my hair kind of thing, because I couldn't put my hands over my head. It did feel really, really good to finally have like a nice, kind of like woke you up. It was amazing.
I always tell my patients, I'm like, just wait until you have that shower. You will feel
amazing.
like a new human.
100%. I felt, 100%.
I'm telling you.
100%. It was hard, but it felt really good. It was perfect. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was hard because I just remembered some parts. I don't remember everything. I just remember my Sonia was beside me, Jamie. But my first reaction was trying to take everything away from me.
Yeah.
I wasn't conscious at that point how many
cables and wires and everything that's coming out, and
it was connected to me.
Forgot about all that stuff.
And it was one over here. They were feeding me through the nose. It was like,
you had one too.
I saw the picture after, I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I couldn't see myself. So they showed me the picture. See, that was the way you were before.
Yeah.
I think I sent it to you.
Oh, I think you did. Yeah. It's a drastic
it is
difference.
so many.
Yeah. I never thought of that people don't really know what they look like
before
and after.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
Just to give them a mirror at least.
Yeah. Well, like I remember, the neck one was like the worst. I wanted it out immediately. I was like, I don't want this. I'm pretty sure I was fighting with them. I'm like, I want this out now. They're like, no, you have to wait. I'm like, no, I want this out now. And then the nose one was annoying.
Oh yeah, that was annoying.
I had issues with my catheter. Then no one told me, no offense, no one told me that once they took out the catheter, I needed to pee within a certain amount of hours. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah. So I didn't go pee. And then they came back and then they put one in, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Right. So your coloring was like better and stuff,
yes.
but you weren't feeling better at all?
It would just. The problem is, at that point, I learned that my left leg, can move it. And they told me that it was part of the risk that when a big surgery like that happened, I might be damaged on nerves, who knows. But I couldn't move it. So I have to, for the next, I think it was 3 weeks in the hospital here, I have to start walking again, because I couldn't move my leg totally. It was dead. So I had to walk, but it was no power. I have no muscles. I have nothing.
Yeah.
So it was basically like
that's the hard
dead
part.
body there, right?
That's the hard part. Yeah.
Start walking a little bit, but still wasn't much, right? But at one point they say, okay, you know what, we're gonna wait for you until this happen. But meanwhile, we're gonna get some physiotherapy so they can help you with this one. So when they finish that, they transfer him to another hospital, to the Grace Hospital. It's supposed to be for physio. But at one point, after 2 weeks in the hospital, I said, no, I can't. It wasn't working anywhere. I wasn't moving. I wasn't doing anything. I said, I had to get out of here. So I get out of the hospital. I'm gonna do it myself. Nobody in my house, there were like 20 steps. I said, I will do it. So they knew when I said, I will do it, I will do it. And 2 weeks in the house, I learned how to walk again. Doing it all because I was doing it and I feel different. Believe it or not, being in the house, it's different. I guess it's
your home.
Part of the warm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's part of that touch that is so close.
Familiar.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I have to do it. I have to do it every day. I have to do it. I have to move my leg. I have to move it. Finally, I got it. Well, my leg is like 95%.
That's a very hard mentality to have after any type of surgery is I have to do this. I have to do this. I think a lot of people struggle with that, trying to push themselves and get over that hump, which is the biggest and most important hump to get over. It determines a lot about your future. Yes. If you can push yourself. So
For sure.
Good for you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell all my patients I want to get up, but I always congratulate them because it's a very hard thing to do.
So finally, I was able to walk and go. I need some help from my kids that were up and down, right in the stair, but it was just different. It was just a big, huge difference.
What was it like when you drove for the first time?
It was scary. I feel like I was not safe. I was like I was like sitting in the middle of nowhere, like
Yeah.
like with no protection.
Well, after all this like health stuff, we're all so fragile. Like,
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm speeding around in this metal box.
Yeah.
Like, this is
The
insane.
seatbelt with the scar.
I had to put some
yeah.
kind of pillow.
Yeah.
They call
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
a pillow.
Yeah.
But it was like, if somebody hit me, what is going to happen?
Yeah,
That was
right,
my
yeah.
worst.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So I was so careful. It was
Any little bump. You're
Bump. Oh man, that was the worst.
the
After
worst.
the surgery, I
coming
think that
back
is the
here?
worst. Especially Toronto having so many potholes and so many bumps
Oh,
in the
yeah.
road. It hurts so much.
screaming.
My dad would like be yelling at my mom, avoid the potholes. My mom's like, there's so many. Like, I can't avoid them. Like,
Even I told her, you just because
she's like, you're doing it on purpose. Yeah. My mom's like, no. Maybe secretly.
That's a payback.
Yeah, maybe secretly.
Poor mother. Oh my God.
Yeah, listen, she needed a win. That was her win.
Yeah.
So, Sonia, did you have any complications post?
So after the surgery, getting home and like you have to stay on the medication that they give you.
Tins
The
of Terran.
needle, the doing that. Like I had a nurse come over the first day and show me how to do it and like where the best place to do it. But it's like, I think it's more of it's a mental thing than it is like a physical thing. Like telling yourself you're going to stab yourself with this needle every day and finding new little areas to do it. Like it does tingle, it does sting a little,
Yeah.
but you get over it. It's just having to tell yourself like, I'm going to poke myself here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. And it's, once you reach that last needle, like to a point where they give you the boxes of all needles. And like when I knew I was getting towards the end, I would take out all the needles from the box and I'd put it in a jar and I'd be like, oh, there's only 3. And then when I was down to the 1, that was my last day of the needle. I was so excited. I was like, never have to do this again. They had given me, what was it? Hydromorphine? No. They give you that.
Yeah.
And then before that, they had given me like Percocets or like something else to try. And the Percocets didn't do anything until I had 2. And I'm like, I don't want to create a drug problem here. So can we change it to something else? And then the hydromorphine, I take like 1. But at the same time, I was like, I also don't want to rely on this. Like I want to push myself to see what my body is capable of. Because I came from going to the gym all the time and having a really healthy lifestyle and finally getting to a point in my life where I was like doing really well. And then like surgery happened and just like destroyed all
You're
of that.
right down back at the bottom. You're like, oh,
Literally, and it's
climb
like
back up.
climbing back up now with this new challenge of like what am I capable of doing? Is there something I'm going to harm if I do something differently, or if I twist my body one way? Like, is it going to affect it somehow?
Yeah.
So always asking the doctors, is it okay? What should I be lifting? What should I be doing? How long should I wait before I have weights at the gym? And like now, I think it was almost more of a motivation to like push myself harder than I've ever pushed myself before, because it's kind of like I don't have something to it's not that I have something to prove, but it's kind of like you're capable of whatever you put your mind to. It's a whole mind over matter type of thing. And I'm running faster, I'm lifting more, I'm doing so much more than what I was doing in the gym before, and it's almost like it's focused your attention on something, because it's like, no, you really, really want this. Like you really want to show people it's a normal thing, and everyone is capable of doing it. Like it's something that we can all fight, and it's a humbling experience. It's very humbling. I'd recommend this to anyone. It's just it's really cool. And it's funny when people say like, you're a hero, you saved your dad's life, and it's like, yeah, but like it's something that I think anyone should do. Anyone would do. It's not really an act of heroism. It's so common in like, what is it? Japan has the highest rate of living organ donors, and it's normal. And here it's something that we don't know about. It's something that needs to be spread more.
Absolutely. It is a different experience too, right? We're not, I guess, as a can eat, and we're not get involved yet in this one because it's new, and that's
They're
pretty
learning more
good.
and more things about it every time they do a transplant, right?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
learning
Oh, yeah.
new things that they never didn't know 5 days ago.
Even having you now here doing this one is new.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
whole program of everything,
Because-
like the newsletter, like getting the newsletter. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like you can see all the updates and like see all the who is this you? Are you
you're
behind it?
saying
It's
all the
great.
things
It's
today that are
great.
making me so happy.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
it.
No, it's perfect. It's awesome. It
Great.
gives me everything I need to know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we just heard from you what you would like people to know about living organ donation. But Jamie, do you have anything that you would like people to know about maybe someone who's in a similar situation as to the situation you were in before transplant?
I think it's the most important is that if you're in the hands of the hospital, the doctors, nurses, and everybody here, you have a hope. And part of the hope is just keep waiting, right? Maybe your family, maybe a friend, maybe somebody that you don't know might be able to give away that gift. And that the gift that is for life, just forever. Because without that gift, it's really hard
To be alive.
to be alive, but at the same time is to enjoy what is life before, right? Because I'm
Totally.
enjoying right now with my grandkids. Them, I
Nice.
didn't see them at that point, so they just born after the surgery. So I have the happiness now to see them and enjoy with them. I having fun with them. James, that it was the one that it was in doesn't want to deal with me because it wasn't recognize me. After I think it was a year, it was just like, oh, you're back. That gift is just amazing, right? It's to my kids
Yeah,
seeing
so, like,
them
'cause-
growing up and getting
Oh.
married and having kids.
Alana and Victor were pregnant when you were going through the surgery, so
Yeah.
they weren't born yet. And then Catalina wasn't even
No,
around
it wasn't
yet.
even there.
Kata is only gonna be 1 in
11 months.
Yeah, she's 11 months right now. So like having the opportunity to see your grandkids, if you didn't have this transplant, wouldn't have even been a reality. You would have only seen James. You would have never met Dominic or
No,
Catalina.
No. So that day when they told me it was here, and I was crying, and they said, "Why are you crying? You should be happy." No, I'm crying because I have the opportunity now to see that, right? To be there. Because I was, when they were born, or my 4 kids, I was there. I was assisting them too when they were born. So I want to see them too, right? I cannot be in the same room, but I want to be there when they coming out of their room. So it was a beautiful time that I enjoyed. So that's the most important is hope, and is somebody to keep waiting and praying, because you don't have to be a religion person just to wait for a miracle. Miracles are a very simple thing. It just miracle happen when something in the middle of the time stop right there. And when that stop happen, tell me that it's religion, tell me it's God, tell me whatever you want, but it's something happen, and that changed everything. Everything. Some people they call miracles, as I said. Some people they call I don't know. Doctors maybe say beautiful surgery.
Yeah. Doctors like
Grateful surgery.
call it a transplant.
But it's something happened. Everything happened for a reason.
Thank you guys so much for sharing your stories with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
really nice.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Living Transplant. If you have questions or suggestions for future episodes, email us at livingorgandonation@uhn.ca.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review Living Transplant on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And follow us at GiveLifeUHN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
See you next time.